Welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into Volume 12, Episode 1 of my Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks scrapbooks. And today we're going to get into a little part of 1988. I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that goes into 1988 with the greatest hits, but this is the small stuff that I know for a fact is actually from 88. And this album shares the small amount I have of 1988 going right into the other side of the mirror. There's probably several other things that do belong in 1988, but they're probably in the back of 87 at some point or going forward into this book. Like I said, this is just stuff that I know specifically says Fleetwood Mac greatest hits. It also seems to me like Fleetwood Mac had been on tour. It seems like I had seen Fleetwood Mac in 1988, but I could be mistaken, and that was just an end cap or an end show after they had gone on the full Shake the Cage 1987 Take on the Night tour, but I swore that they had. I do know that I saw Stevie in 89 for Other Side of the Mirror, but I'll get into that a little bit more. So starting right off, the opening of this album is with, again, my infamous design objective here with the long boxes. Long box for greatest hits. Green, loving it. So, could totally go all out with the greens in this one. And this was like a terrible page I put together. I should probably take it apart and put it back together, but it was an interesting article in Pulse magazine, which was the magazine put out by Tower Records. And this was just a really neat part, a really neat article on the record plant in Sausalito, which is where Fleetwood Mac recorded Rumors and part of my neck of the woods. And it was just really neat. It goes and shows the console that, we all know got put into that, what is it, Sound Studio City, something like that, the film by Dave Grohl. And then this is just some other little stuff on Fleetwood Mac, but it's just very uninspired, just not much in decoration or put it together. I should maybe take it apart and put some other pictures with it or something, but just a neat little article. Moving on was this peculiar ad that got used, a strange picture that got used a lot for the greatest hits. I have a couple, another one isn't in here, but I have another one of the same photo, and it's 2 pages. It's a 2-page, even bigger than how this page is, but it shows the same photo, which is taken by Kiyoshiro Yoda. And I don't know why this roller coaster or this thing had anything to do with Fleetwood Mac, but it got used in the ads a lot in Japanese magazines of the time with the Fleetwood Mac greatest hits. Maybe just the roller coaster ride they had, the symbolism, I don't know. But I just thought it was an odd picture to put with the promotion of anything Fleetwood Mac at this time. And then these were just some miscellaneous live shots I had of Mick, one of Billy Burnett. Again, not 100% sure that these are 88. These could be 87, but they were just kind of space fillers and great pictures, but just pictures I didn't know where to put them. These were some really great pictures I found of Chris and John. I believe I did find these online. A really nice little, the lyrics to Hold Me, but the Hold Me from the greatest hits. And I think this magazine, it looks like it's possibly in German. I'm going to say it's in German, so it's from a German publication. Forgive me if I'm way off the mark, but I think it's German. Next up, we have it's just at the time I had the cover, thank God I've replaced this magazine. I'm pretty sure I have. Pretty sure I showed it in my magazines. But this was a cover for Record Mirror, a great photo of Stevie. And this was from 1988. So I just kind of put it with Stevie Nicks on the Big Mac. I can't think of nicer people to work with. Odd that she said that. Probably she's talking about Rick and Billy, because I'm sure she wasn't talking about Lindsay at the time. And I believe this was from the inside. Again, a couple of those phantom photos I was mentioning in some of my older videos. I love this one. Again, they're just so cool. They're so tiny, but somebody took these pictures and I love them. And somebody was probably really stoked at the time to have what they had, despite them being tiny. They're great memories. This is back when you really just could not take photos in a venue. So, they were probably sneaking them in and and just real happy to have had anything. A couple other articles. This also is from Germany. This one here definitely looks like it's in German. And then just a little snippet on Stevie. Stevie Nicks' typewriter is her favorite touring companion. Stevie's typo. Most rock stars look for cut flowers, especially chosen foods, or perhaps a traveling companion when they hit their hotel room after a night of singing. But Stevie Nicks is comforted by a far less glamorous sight, her typewriter. When I see that typewriter when I get in my room, it just makes me go, wow. She recently told the Baltimore Sun, if I feel like saying anything tonight, it's all there is. It's all ready. I light the candles and I light some incense and I put on some music for whatever the mood I'm in, and it's my time. It's my special time alone. So that's just really cool little newspaper piece. An article that came out of, not entirely sure, but it was a large page like that, so I thought it was really cool to fit into this scrapbook. More little, I don't know why I'm calling them phantom photos. I think it's just because I'm joking, because they're so pale and so light. But she's clearly in them. I mean, like that's really clear. It's just far away and it's itty bitty, but it's pretty cool. And this was a nice piece in its full. Why you can't get much bigger than Fleetwood Mac, can you? In the wake of Lindsey Buckingham's much publicized departure and their continued chart success, Dave Zimmer talks to the band that just refuses to lay down and die. So, nice little article there. These are some really cool outtakes from the shoot for As Long As You Follow. Pretty sure that's correct. Nice ones of Chris and of Stevie. And then some other little ones. Now, there's quite a few of these out there, and it's really strange. I know my friends and I each have a couple, but like some are just off by a shot. And then some negatives they've sold in duplicate. I think it is, can't remember the seller's name, but they sell a lot. They're like specifically a music, Hollywood, all that kind of stuff seller, and they get a lot of negatives and sell them. So these are really cool ones to come by. And so I think I bought a duplicate of maybe this one, or I'm not sure, but it's so hard to tell because, like I said, it's usually just the frame difference that you can see is Rick. You can't really tell Stevie's, changed much, but just some cool photos from that time. Cool to kind of get a little sneak peek behind the scenes of the video. Then I got these really cool photos from, these are live, so I'm guessing, no, I guess, I don't know. I mean, they must have maybe gone to Europe and come back to the USA, or maybe they didn't. But this is from May 13th, 1988, and they're definitely still on tour, but they're in Birmingham. This is Fleetwood Mac concert, Birmingham. Stevie Nicks, vocalist and tambourine player with Fleetwood Mac on stage Friday at the NEC in Birmingham. Back is to be continued, be decided. I don't know why I did that, because I had these ones. So these perfectly would have gone on the back of, because they go with them. More of the same show photos. And then another little telegraph thing that was on the back of the photos. Same date. So really nice little 4-piece that I got. Really pretty. Seems like I got these from somebody overseas, like direct, like from a. It's so funny when newspapers really start to go by the wayside, which so many have. A lot of them just liquidated their photo collection, what they had on stock and stuff like that. And it seems to me like there was a period of time when there was a lot of places like that overseas doing the same thing. And it seems like I just really came into a lot of photos at one point. This is a shoot of Fleetwood Mac, and I can't remember what show it is, but it's like a live performance show. They're lip syncing, of course. They're doing Another Woman, maybe. But I've just always really liked these photos. I found these in Los Angeles. This guy had this one and the two others I'm about to show you. They just look like video pulls. And there's another picture from this session that's in a magazine, like Vox or something like that. But Stevie, just the silhouette she got with that outfit was so cool. She's wearing a mini skirt, the tights, heels instead of boots, but then with the long shawl like that. I love the silhouette at that time. Nice little photo of John. I'm assuming from the same thing just because of the background here. And then these were two little press photos. I can't read my own writing. It looks like Jeff Swain is who these photographs are by. Looks like I wrote it onto the paper and it kind of bled. The ink kind of bled. Sucks. But with these two photos, here are the other, with that one I just showed you, I'm sorry. Here's the other two here. Very Morticia Adams, the rock and roll Morticia look to me. I always joke about kind of what it reminds me of. But yeah, I'm really keen on these photos. They're different. It's just really kind of neat to have something from kind of a one-off, unusual recording of something. This one here, I believe, and I don't know why I took this out or why it's loose like this, but I'm pretty sure that this was a fan club photo and not like a legitimate fan club. Like it seems like it was, or maybe it was, something either put together by people around the Rumors convention, like maybe done for that. But anyway, it's kind of a harder picture to come by, and of course, all the signatures are pre-done, pre-printed on there. But it's really cool, and I had a poster that was real similar to this that I actually ended up selling not too long ago, and it broke my heart because it is super rare, really hard to come by. But it's another photo from this session, just a little bit off. But I think I have a photo of it somewhere that's yet to be scrapbooked. And then this definitely on the heels with the 1988 release. Little press kit photo. A nice article from Music Express. Technically, this came out in 1989, but it was talking about Fleetwood Mac doing their thing in the end of '87 and into '88 with the greatest hits. And it seems like I had to take this apart because it was just completely coming apart, which is why I had to Xerox this little portion here. And then this is the remainder of the article with two little, this I think was at the opening of the magazine showing you like what page the article is on. And then this is just another picture from the article. And then one last piece from that article here. This is really cool blurb. Then we have the infamous, wonderful record club catalogs. And this is the inside. I don't think that they were on the cover. It could be on the cover, and I just chose to use the inside because it was the full picture. But I know these are kind of hard to come by and kind of fun to have. I think I have this one. I have one for Other Side of the Mirror, Behind the Mask. And that might be it. I know that there's still actually record clubs out there, record and CD clubs, if you can believe it. And I know that they did something recently, both for Stevie Nicks' box set and for, I'm trying to think, there was like another release, but Stevie was on the cover of one and Fleetwood Mac's box set. And I'd still like to try and track one of those down. But the fact that there are still catalogs where you could order stuff and it's like a physical catalog, not just something online, was just, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, these memories of these are just fantastic. Then I'm going to close out with this picture that I've shown in the past. I think this is really cool. I'm sure I'd cut this out, which you've probably seen in my 1987 books, but this one was a full page in 1988, and taken by Neil Preston. And the quote was, "It's not like we don't speak to each other, but we never really did." And that was Lindsey Buckingham. And it was a cool thing that Rock Express magazine, which was the magazine, again, I think Musicland or Sam Goody or something like that used to put out. And this was like their end page. So that was really cool score. So that does it for 1988 and the items that I have for 1988 that, like I said, are clearly 1988. In the next video, we're going to start off with same volume, obviously, but it's going to go into the other side of the mirror. So hope you enjoyed that, and please join me again because we got a lot of stuff going into other side of the mirror. So thank you so much and have a great night. Bye.